Now it's going to be Mike Clevenger's chance to take the mound.
And Clevenger with a beautiful pitch. And a swing and a miss. Oh, he slowed it down, and Davis way out in front of it. And Mike Clevenger authors his first complete game shutout of his young career. And the Indians blank the Birds 4-0. It finally feels like spring here in beautiful Baltimore's Inner Harbor. Temperature today expected to rise close to maybe 70 degrees as the Indians and the Orioles continue their 4-game series here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. This is what we like to call Corey Kluber Day. So far, he's pitched 4 times. He's given up a total of just 5 runs. He's picked up right where he left off a year ago.
And it doesn't matter what weather you're playing in, Corey Kluber, his ball seems to be moving in every direction. The two-seam fastball, his slider's been outstanding. His changeup's been outstanding. The curveball has been very good. It doesn't matter. Corey Kluber has just been himself. And when you look at his numbers so far in his first 4 starts, the fewest innings he has pitched is 6 2/3 innings. He's given you 8 a couple of times. And last year, he beat the Orioles right here in Camden Yards, a complete game 3-hit shutout with 11 strikeouts.
I mean, we talk about him being consistent, and I don't want people to think it's just cliche. Since August 1st of last year, his earned run average is less than 1.5. That is unbelievable to be that good for that long a period. Well, we'll see what Corey Kluber can do today against the Baltimore Orioles. We'll be back with the play-by-play coming up next. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By Cleveland Clinic Express Care Online. Tap the app for 24/7 virtual visits. And by Live TV. You love only better. Maryland as we get ready for Game 3 of this 4-game series between the Indians and the Orioles. Let's go downstairs right now And check in with the third member of our team, Andre Knock.
Thank you very much, Matt. For the Indians, they had a late stretch in the lineup. Bradley Zimmer is out with a ankle injury. It happened late in yesterday's game, jammed the right ankle. Tito said he should be fine. Andrew Kashner is on the mound for the Orioles, and it's much like Friday night, another pitcher with a great slider that the Indians will be looking for, but they want to get him in the strike zone. They say he's got great stuff, but at times he can be erratic inside the strike zone, so they want to make him throw strikes this afternoon.
Well, let's take a look at Andrew Kashner. He will be a Northern Ohio Monday starting pitcher for the Orioles today. Signed by the Orioles on February 15th as a free agent. And he is 0-2 in his career with a 9.9 ERA against the Indians. So we'll see what he has to offer today. But he's pitched very well. This will be his 5th start for the Orioles this year.
The Orioles, you'll notice, are wearing green on their uniforms. Everything's trimmed out in green. That is to celebrate Earth Day. The Indians will not be wearing any of the green trim in their uniforms. Tribe starting lineup brought to you by Progressive Insurance. For Terry Francona, Frankie Lindor, Jason Kipnis, Jose Ramirez at the top. Then it's Brantley, Encarnacion, and Alonso. Yan Gomes, Tyler Naquin, and Rajay Davis. The late substitution for Bradley Zimmer hitting ninth.
And let's check out that Orioles defense. Craig Gentry in left field, Adam Jones in center, Anthony Santander is in right. On the infield, Tim Beckham at third, Manny Machado at short, Luis Sardinas is at second, Chris Davis at first, and Caleb Joseph is behind the plate.
Lindor to lead it off, 1 for 8 in the series. Andrew Kashner's first pitch, a little bit outside for ball 1. .61 our game time temperature. The 1-1 foul back out of play. Breaking ball in the dirt. He did not offer at it.
That's what Andrew Kashner can do. He changes the eye levels. That's his curveball, which is very slow, and he's not afraid to throw that high fastball or pitch left-handers in. Also a changeup. He had 18 quality starts last year for the Texas Rangers.
Pops on a shallow right. Santander comes in to make the catch. 1 down. John Tumpane calling the balls and strikes. Crew chief Ron Culpa's at first, Gabe Morales at second, Ed Hickox is at third. The question you have to wonder where Andrew Kashner is concerned, Rick, was last year sort of a career year? In other words, is it something that just that's the best he's going to ever be? Or is it a leaping off point? That's what the Orioles maybe are hoping.
Well, absolutely. He's one of those guys that became a free agent. You know, and sometimes it's tough to tell. You know, they have their best years as a free agent year, you know, and they never get it. But he certainly can, I think, improve upon last year. And he's going to get the opportunity here in Baltimore because they need the starting pitching. He's 31 years old. He'll be 32 in September.
He's 23 games under 500 in his career. But with an ERA of 3.80, it may be kind of.
What I'm saying here, though, Baltimore has such a good bullpen normally every year. If you can give him, eat up some innings, you know, a lot of times your starting pitchers now will not get the wins in a ball game. But if you can take them 6 innings, you know, and turn it over to a bullpen and they can score you some runs, you have a chance to get some wins.
Three-one pitch to Kipnis. Fouled right back. Full count.
You think about who they had, the Orioles last year in their rotation. Ubaldo Jimenez, you know, and what would he do? He'd throw 100 pitches within 5 innings.
And then you're into the bullpen.
Yeah. So, you know, they signed him to a 4-year deal. They chose not to re-sign him, so they're going to take a chance on a guy like Andrew Cashner.
Payoff pitch. Struck him out looking. 2 down.
As I said, he's not afraid to pitch inside, and right there he locks up Jason Kipnis with a fastball on the inside part of the plate. Check it out on our Nissan pitch tracker. That's a little comeback pitch. Now, where Joseph caught that ball, it was right on there, but it looked like it started in, and we're going to see that pitch again from Corey Kluber this afternoon as well. That was a good pitch.
Here is Jose Ramirez. 3 for 7 in the series. Home run yesterday.
He's starting to swing it a little bit. He hit the ball hard all 4 times yesterday. Although he had 3 hits the last time he lined out to center field. It's almost like he can throw that breaking ball whenever he wants for a strike.
Michael Brantley had his streak stopped yesterday of 5 consecutive multi-hit games. But that's the kind of role that a guy like Jose Ramirez can get on. We saw it a year ago. The 2-1. Just missed inside. And not by much.
He wanted it. He wanted that pitch. Because that, instead of a 2-2 count, now it's 3-1. But let's see if it has the comeback that Kipnis did. That's about the same pitch that they rang Kipnis up. Isn't it funny? One guy gets it, the other guy doesn't.
There, he just threw a low dart at the knees outside corner. And now Ramirez has got to be wondering.
Well, that could be a makeup from that last pitch.
Coming back inside, and Jose was ready for it.
Well, when he hits that fastball on the inside part of the plate, in or off the plate, and he hits it that far foul, maybe time for the slow hook. If you're the pitcher. Because he's ready for that fastball. That should tell you that right there. Going a little 2-seamer away.
Struck him out. Couple of Ks for Cashner. Indians go 1-2-3. The Orioles coming to bat.
Corey Kluber will be the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher. Kluber making his 5th start of the year. You can see he got a 2nd win in the last start. That was the first game over in Puerto Rico. 1.52 ERA, opposition hitting just 155, and he's 2-1 in his career against the Baltimore Orioles.
Buck Showalter starting lineup: Craig Gentry, Pedro Alvarez, Manny Machado, Jones, Davis, Beckham in the middle, Anthony Santander, Caleb Joseph, and Luis Sardinas batting 9th. Corey Kluber misses just a bit high, I guess. Looked like it was in the zone, but it's ball 1 to Craig Gentry, who was 0 for 4 yesterday. Gentry starting in place of the injured Trey Mancini. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kluber in this ballpark last year, complete game, 3 hit, 11 strikeout performance.
Tap right back to Kluber, and he'll have an easy play at first, 1 down.
Check out the Tribe defense, brought to you by Ram. Behind Kluber this afternoon, Michael Brantley is in left field. Rajai Davis gets the start in center. Zimmer was scratched because of ankle issues. Tyler Naquin over in right. On the infield, it'll be Jose Ramirez at third, Francisco Lindor at short, Jason Kipnis is at second, Yonder Alonso at first, and Yan Gomes doing the catching.
Pedro Alvarez 0 for 8, has struck out 3 times in the series. Two balls, no strikes. High pop, left field. Brantley's coming in, and Ramirez called him off for out number 2. Today's storyline is brought to you by Wayside Furniture. For the Indians offensively, they're looking for that hit that kind of breaks it loose offensively. They've been leaning on the long ball for offense, but boy, if they could get some hits with runners in scoring position, that would really
makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it?
And the matchup for Corey Kluber, obviously this guy, Manny Machado, he is the linchpin for the Orioles.
Well, you always like to see good matchups with a great pitcher and a great hitter, and you're looking at one right now. You see Gomes flinch?
Yep.
He thought that was going to be a strike, but it was not called.
Two balls, no strikes. There's a long drive, and the Orioles strike first. Number 7 from Manny Machado, his 2nd in the series. It's 1-0 Baltimore. 3rd home run allowed by Corey Kluber on the season.
Well, for Machado, you fall behind him, and he's sitting dead red, and boy, does he get it. And I mean, he doesn't miss it. The other home run he hit off Bauer, it was a 3-0 count. This one's a 2-0 count, and he will give the Orioles a 1-0 lead on a very good swing. They're sitting away. That ball leaks back to the inside part of the plate, and he does not miss it. Home run number 7 for Machado.
If you noticed on that replay, you could see Kluber's head drop just as that ball made it over the middle of the plate. He realized, uh-oh, that's not where I wanted that. Adam Jones steps in, takes a strike. And a ground ball routine for Lindor. We've played one in Baltimore. Manny Machado puts the Orioles on the board first. They lead it 1-0. Indians down a run. Michael Brantley will lead it off. Three for 8 with a double in the series. He lifts one high in the air to right field. Not deep enough, though. Anthony Santander shy of the track. Now backing up on the front edge of that warning track for out number 1. Stat of the game today brought to you by Buick. And the Indians, as I said, have been leaning on the home run ball. 54% of their runs have come on the homer. Only the Giants just a few ticks higher than that. And that primarily is due to the fact that they just can't get any hits right now when they have runners in scoring position. And then, you know, you go through a 1-for-29 slump. That's pretty lengthy.
Yes, it is. I mean, that's a tough way to go. You'd think somebody would bloop one in here or there, but.
And as you pointed out, that one
didn't
even drive in a run.
No, a ground ball yesterday drove in. Or was it the first game that drove in a run? Yeah, ground ball to second base.
Yeah, Michael Brantley had an RBI ground out yesterday in the first inning. And in the first game of the series, it was Encarnacion who was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. They've got to run in. Yesterday, Yonder Alonso destroyed a pitch out on the Utah Street beyond the boundaries of the ballpark. It was his 4th home run of the year. And one of the longer home runs that you will see.
Well, he'll have a little marker out there.
The question is exactly where are they going to put this marker, because it landed inside.
on the hot dogs.
It landed inside Little bratwurst stand out there.
Oh, someone's going to be standing on it.
The 1-0. Fouled right back. Might get a little sausage and peppers dripped on that from time to time.
He may be able to make his just a little bit bigger, about the size of a basketball, maybe.
That's what that pitch probably looked like when it was
Sure
coming
did.
into him yesterday.
Ooh, good pitch. He's got very good movement on that little two-seam fastball.
Well, going back to his days in San Diego, which wasn't all that long ago, you're talking about 2016, last time he pitched for the Padres. Bud Black said at the time he's got front of the rotation stuff. His first foray into the major leagues for Cashner back in 2010 with the Cubs, but he was used strictly as a relief pitcher early in his career, and then with San Diego he transitioned back to the rotation in 2013, and he's been a starter ever since. The 2-2. Another good pitch, and it didn't miss by much.
No, that was a teaser right there to see if he chased that breaking ball. But and let's see where it crosses the plate. You see, it's close, but it looked like it might have been a little low.
Alonso will get another chance. Andrew Cashner was a first-round pick by the Cubs back in 2008, the 19th overall pick in the draft. High pop. This should get out of play, and it will. And the payoff pitch is swung on and missed. Andrew Cashner is fan 4 in the first 2 frames. 1-0 Baltimore. Frank Robinson, a Hall of Fame Baltimore Oriole and a Hall of Fame manager for the Cleveland Indians. A number retired in the ceremony in Cleveland last
May.
year.
Yeah.
Chris Davis will lead off for Baltimore here in the 2nd inning. Do you think there's any chance at all that we'll ever see another player manager?
No, I don't. Not in today's game.
Demands are just so great, I would think.
They really are on the manager when it comes to the media and, you know, the things you have to do. I don't think we'll see that again, no. Who was the last one? Pete Rose, I believe. End of the 80s?
I think so, yeah.
End of the 80s, I believe.
Shattered bat. Makes it an easy play for Yonder Alonso. One down. All right, let's take a look at our AARP take on today. And Corey Kluber facing the Orioles starting lineup. This is what they're hitting combined against him coming into today. $152. 21 strikeouts in 59 at bats, no home runs,
well,
but that's already been
that's changed.
Broken by Manny Machado in the first inning. Tim Beckham 0 for 5 in the series, steps in. Drew a couple of walks in game 1 Friday night.
This is the guy that you know they received from Tampa Bay in a trade last year. Went to shortstop, got off to a tremendous start. If you remember his start here with Baltimore, and was playing short. Machado is at third now. Machado is the shortstop, and he's at third, but he's not swinging it at all this year to this point.
Popped up, shallow right. Naquin into foul territory. A nice diving effort, but it just didn't stick in the glove.
Great effort. Comes in, he's going to dive and hit that grass, and it's in the glove, and it slides out. See Alonso knew it went into the glove. He put his hand up, and as his body hits that ground and he smashes to it, that ball comes out of the end of the glove. Good effort. But you run that far as an outfielder, you want it to stick. It's upsetting.
Did he go? He did not on the appeal. And it's 2-2. Popped up right center field. Naquin calling for it. 2 away. Last year, on June 19th, Corey Kluber shut out the Baltimore Orioles.
You can see a lot of those pitches out of the strike zone. He's getting swings and misses on. That looks like that cut fastball. And he was brilliant. Just 3 hits, had 11 punch outs.
Yesterday, it was Mike Clevenger who authored a 2-hit shutout of the Baltimore Orioles, retiring the last 14 hitters in a row.
Yeah, Cleve was very good yesterday, mixing in the curveball, the changeup. He had it all working. He was a treat to watch.
I thought his interview after the game with Andre Knott was very telling, though, just how far he's come, maybe from a maturity standpoint.
Let it go.
Foul ball. He told Andre, you know, he didn't have a feel for his breaking ball, especially a slider early in the game. And he said the fastball was kind of hit and miss. He had to work his way through. And then he said, all of a sudden, I don't know, the 4th or 5th inning, he said everything just kind of clicked into place. And he took off and dominated the rest of the way. But, Rick, you know, a young pitcher without the experience that he has gained might have caved in. Might not have been able to overcome not having command of all his pitches early in the game yesterday.
If you're going to become a good starter in this league, you got to learn how to pitch with maybe half your stuff sometimes. And then they go ahead, Andre.
No, well, the other thing I was going to say is that, you know, that 4th inning is when he got it, and that was the ending that Lindor had the error. And he said, and he told me afterwards, he goes, I let those guys down the last game. He goes, I deserve to pick them up, and that's why I was glad it came in the 4th inning for me.
Oh, a little flinch by everybody at home plate.
Well, let's see him flinch. I mean, you got to be consistent. If you're going to call one, you've got to call them all in. You can't call one and not the next.
Down low 2-2.
I mean, pitchers want you to be consistent. The hitters want you to be consistent. As an umpire back there, call them all.
It's not that hard to be consistent with a guy like Kluber, because he's going to be in the same spot all day long.
And Cashner is going to be that way as well.
High pop, shallow left. Brantley has this one. And the Orioles go in order. Through 2, Baltimore 1, Cleveland 0. Now back here in Baltimore, the Orioles have a 1-0 lead.
Jimmy came to the game today, walking through the stands.
He's a big fan, you know.
Yes, he is.
So weird, I forget that he actually played here.
Yes. What was it, for a year?
2012. Yan Gomes, Tyler Naquin, Rajay Davis, bottom third of the Indians order. Here in inning number 3, Andrew Cashner is spot on here in the early going. He has struck out 4 already. Yan Gomes 1 for 4. He homered yesterday. Gave the Indians a 2-0 lead with a solo shot in the 4th inning. His 3rd of the year. Gomes is now hit in 7 straight games. Make it 8.
Yes, indeed.
Let's take a look at our Jim Thome Hall of Fame moment, brought to you by Mike Bass Ford. Remember the Division Series in Boston at Fenway Park? Over the pesky pole down the right field line, deep into the seats, stunning the Fenway faithful, and that propelled the Indians to an easy win as they swept the Division Series from the Red Sox.
That was off of Tim Wakefield, wasn't it? The knuckleballer.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Naquin shoots one to the left. Is it going to get down near the line? It's a foul ball. Mentioned Thome spent a year here back in 2012, but when he was with the Indians in 1996, he hit a ball 440 feet.
Look at that. That's a poke. One of the farthest ones they have out there. but it should come as no surprise.
Did Griffey hit the building in the home run derby?
I believe he did.
Now, granted, that's no batting practice, but still, it's pretty impressive. Naquin fouls one back. 0-2. Is that the Griffey plaque? Holy mackerel. Now watch as the camera pulls out. Just look how far away that is.
It really doesn't do it justice. But where we're sitting, and it's the last umbrella over there.
But that's on the fly. He hit that on the fly. That's beyond the fence.
And then he pulled his tee off a home plate. He had the driver.
Naquin shoots one up the gut. And it gets by Sardinas. Gomes stops right there because it was a good job to back it up.
Well, it looked like he might have been able to backhand it and at least get one, but I don't know if it gets through. Let's check it out. I don't know. I thought he might have been able to get that. That's going to be an error. At least get one. I don't know if they would have been able to turn a double play, but it looked like his footwork got a little messed up, so it's an error. Indians will take it. First 2 men aboard with the single, and now an error.
Rajai Davis showing bunt. And he bunts it back foul 1-on-1. So in the official scorer's mind, that was ordinary effort.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that wasn't a play where he had to go, and I think that play should be made, no question.
I would have to imagine Sardinas feels the same way. The 1-1. Davis lays down a beauty bunt. And it's close at first. The question was, did he get his foot on the bag? Sardinas was searching for the bag. The umpire says yes, he did. Rajai wasn't so sure as he went by.
I think Raj might have got the foot on there, but by the time, because he didn't tag him, it did not look like to me with the naked eye. So they're going to hold off a second and see what is going to come out of the Indians'
well, let's take another look.
System. It's a beautiful bunt. It's forced. You force the third baseman to make the play. Look at him stab for the foot. Look at they clashed with their legs. Their legs hit, and then all of a sudden, I think Davis hit the bag. He never tagged him. He misses the bag here. Oh, no. He got the bag. I'm sorry. That foot just clipped the top of that bag. That goes to sacrifice. Good bunt. Good job. But I didn't see that foot. It just skimmed the top of the bag for the 5-4 sacrifice.
But I tell you what, also, that second look shows you just how close that came to being an ugly collision.
Yeah, exactly. Very ugly. You see, when guys are moving to try and get to the base sometimes and they're searching for it, that's where you have your problems and issues.
Top of the order, Francisco Lindor. Swings and misses.
Well, here's your opportunity now to get that base hit with a runner in scoring position. They got him set up. The Indians still do not have a sacrifice fly on the year as a team. And now Lindor going to have to battle down 0-2, and Cashner coming in, and he's pounding the strike zone. Had a good pitch to hit. They wanted that ball inside, and it stays right dead middle of the plate. Fouled straight back.
He did get a piece of that. Lindor, who had a monster season a year ago, but a slow start here in 2018.
That's not going to get it done, I don't think.
Santander is going to make the catch. tagging his goes, but no chance to get home. And there are 2 down. So the Indians' situational hitting woes continue. 2 down for Jason Kipnis.
Well, if you're going to get 1 hit and to get your team going, make it a 2-out base hit with runners in scoring position. The time is right.
Jason Kipnis called out on strikes on a borderline pitch in the 1st inning.
Well, and the reason why it was a borderline, he called it a strike, but then there's a couple other times with other hitters going in there that it wasn't called.
Yeah.
So that's why I agree with you. It's borderline. I thought it was a good pitch originally, but if you're not going to call it all day, it's a borderline pitch. You're right.
Pegs the outside corner barely, and it's 1-1. Baltimore with a 1-0 lead. Indians trying to answer. Kipnis pops one to center. Jones makes the catch. Indians strand 2 in scoring position. Baltimore maintains a 1-0 lead. Inning, and a reminder, if you're enjoying a cold Miller Lite this afternoon, to stay tuned later in the game for our Hold True moment. For the Birds in the 3rd, Caleb Joseph, Luis Sardinas, and then the top of the order, Craig Gentry. 1 hit so far for Baltimore. No. It left the yard. A Manny Machado 2-out homer in the 1st. Caleb Joseph, 3 hits and 37 at bats to start the year. Chance Sisco started the first 2 games of the series. Fastball just above the strike zone. Lazy pop to right. Naquin has it, and Joseph now 0 for 19 against right-handers on the year. Player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Corey Kluber in his 6 career starts against Baltimore has a 2-1 mark, 2.76 ERA, in 42 innings. Just 7 walks, 52 strikeouts.
You know, that can't be a fun day when you know you're going to face Kluber. You don't get to see him. He's not in your division, so you know he doesn't get that many starts against this ball club, maybe 2 a year.
Well, when they saw him last year, and that start in June, just looking back at those highlights,
yeah,
my goodness, you forget sometimes just how wicked the movement can be on his pitches. A jam job, 2 down.
Well, MLB At Bat is your #1 Indians app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Indians home screen icons and features such as the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast stats, news, and more. Download the MLB At Bat app today.
Craig Gentry bounced back to the mound in the first inning. You know, you always talk about sometimes that Kluber's breaking ball looks like a frisbee, the way it spins and the way it has such great movement to it. It almost looks like a banana. The way, you know, the route that it takes when it leaves his hand by the time it gets to the catcher's glove.
I mean, and think about it. That's what, 60 feet away, and by the time he's letting it go, let's say 55 feet, and now that break, it's almost like a wiffle ball.
Yeah.
Except it's traveling pretty good.
Yeah, wiffle ball at 86 miles an hour.
Right.
He can reach back when he wants to and throw his four-seamer maybe 94 miles an hour, but he consistently sits 90 to 92 with it.
He's not max effort, and the control is just impeccable. And the delivery he repeats consistently. Pitches sort of from that first base side of the rubber, at least he starts that way, and that arm slot comes out, and every pitch comes out of that same slot, and those hitters don't know which way it's going to break. Like that.
His first strikeout today. The Orioles go in order. He has set down 7 straight. 1-0 Baltimore after 3. Inning, and Jose Ramirez will lead it off. Struck out his only time up in the first inning.
Andrew Cashner has been on mark today. Allowed just 1 hit that first time through. I think if you're starting pitcher and you're going against Corey Kluber, knowing that you're matching up against him, your goal is to put as many zeros as you can for as long as you can. You don't want to fall behind, and so far he has the lead by 1.
Although Ramirez is bidding to tie it up, it is gone. A home run. It just did clear the 21-foot wall in right field. And Ramirez has home run number 6. And we are back to even at 1 apiece.
Well, you know it had the distance. It was just a matter of whether it was going to stay fair, and it certainly did. Right down the line. So one swing of the bat, a pair of solo home runs in the ball game. This is tied at 1. And Jose is staying hot. Is that a changeup that he left up? Maybe. I'm not sure if that was the fastball or a changeup, but he gets out of here. That was a fastball.
Does this hit the camera down there in right field?
Hard to see.
Michael Brantley flied to right. His only time up in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, Michael caught it a little off the end of the bat in his first time up. He was 2 for 2 coming into this game against Cashner. He didn't miss it by much.
Right at the second baseman. And Sardinus throws him out 1 down. Now it's time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Sean Manaea with a no-hitter last night against the Boston Red Sox. He only walked 2, struck out 10, a career high.
But he had about 108 pitches. It was a gem. And you no-hit the hottest offense in baseball. That had 5 grand slams at that point. What a game and a performance.
Well,
2 hours and 16 minutes.
Well, Matt, I know you like to eat healthy, and Arch, you eat whatever like I do. Manaea's pregame meal yesterday: 3 burger sliders and a side of fries from a food truck that was in the players' parking lot, baby. So look for the food trucks before the games, boys and girls.
Well, talk about going out with a lead belly.
You're right. I know, right?
Andre's going to be throwing a no-hitter today, too.
Brought some oatmeal down here, don't worry.
Yeah, I know. That's all for show.
Here's the 1-1 to Encarnacion, and he pops it weakly to right. Santander has a long way to go. He can't get there. And Encarnacion has to turn on the jets, and he'll still be able to glide into second base with a double. He was not hustling out of the box. He thought it was going to be caught. And he still winds up with a bloop double.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good thing that he was able to get there, because it did not look good. He was just jogging down the first baseline, and then after Santander came in and missed that ball, then he had to kick it in gear to get on second base. So the ball off the end of the bat, he was playing deep. He does get a base hit, and that's good. At least he had an opportunity to make a left turn.
And now something for Yonder Alonso out there. Struck out his first time up.
I think.
Now the 1-0. Back out of play. Had his fastball. Had it looked like it was in a good spot to do some damage with it. But he can only foul it off. Cleveland now 1 for their last 31. The runners in scoring position. 3-man shift right side of the infield. They leave Machado on the left side. Jump Beckham, the third baseman, over to the right of second base. And just missed outside. 2-2. That's why Cashner has been so effective. You talk about pitching and being able to command both sides of the plate. If you can do that effectively, that's really difficult for the hitters because they can't sit on just any one location.
Yeah, the 4 quadrants that he's using, but he's throwing that 2-seamer inside, and then he also can throw that pitch away. And after the high fastball, he can throw that curveball, and he also has a changeup. So he keeps you guessing up there, I guess, in the batter's box. But he's proving he can throw strikes to both sides of the plate.
Yan Gomes on deck as Alonso awaits the 3-2 pitch. See if Cashner challenges him here with the base open. Top foul.
That was the changeup there, full count. You don't see many, but that was a good time to throw it. And Yonder just got a piece to stay alive. And watch, this pitch is going to be down in the strike zone, and that's a great place for a changeup. It just got off the end of the bat.
As a hitter, are you expecting him to double up on that, or is that usually something you don't see?
I wouldn't expect him to throw 2 in a row.
Alonso waits on a pitch and blasts the fastball off the wall in right field. He's headed for second base. Scoring is Encarnacion, and Alonso snaps the Indians' funk with runners in scoring position, delivering an RBI double to make it 2-1 Cleveland.
Well, he did a nice job, and he got the fastball this next time, so it's back-to-back doubles. And Alonso, I'll tell you what, I thought they had a chance at second base, and it looked like they cut that ball off, and it would have been close at second. Watch the throw. Here it comes. If it's on line, there might have been a chance.
Usually the only time you would cut that is if it's offline.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. It's hard to tell from that angle if that ball was offline. If it's on line, it would have been a lot closer than they should have let it go. But the Indians will take a 2-1 lead on Alonso's base hit with a runner in scoring position, and the Indians desperately needed that.
Alonso leads the club now with 11 runs batted in.
Let's take a look here. Here it comes. It's coming in. It's coming in, and they probably should have let that ball go.
Yeah, that looked like it was on line.
It did. It did from that angle.
Yan Gomes with a 3rd inning single, extending his hitting streak to 8 games. He's 8 for his last 25 at the plate during that streak. Base hit here, could plate another run. Alonso, not the fastest guy, but out of play. Jones, a good arm in center. Haven't really seen a lot of Gentry and Santander. Sarbaugh, Indians third base coach, a lot of what he does is predicated on the jump that he thinks the runner gets. And then he's looking at the outfield arms, and he'll take that all into consideration and whether or not they'll wave him home or hold him up. Outside, full count. Unfortunately for Mike, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to wave anybody home.
No, his left arm is getting a little rusty. They're going to have to oil it down. May have a little squeak in it, but if he sees they get a good jump from second base, he'll wave him. He likes to be aggressive.
Shoots it foul the other way.
See, we were just talking about that in between innings, the netting that extends down here in Baltimore past the third base line, so it's much farther than 90 feet.
Yeah, it's all the way past the dugouts.
And I expected to see that ball that Gomes just fouled off go into the seats, and it caught the netting. So, I mean, I like that.
A lot of ballparks extended the netting to the end of the dugouts. Baltimore's taking it a little bit further even. Another 3-2 pitch. Almost got Andre.
Well, it wasn't even close, but he yelled.
Hey, you never know when it's going to ricochet. You just worry about being up there. You guys talk about this net. The problem that the fans are having that sit close.
Yeah.
The players, you know how they usually toss the ball after the end of the inning.
Right.
You can't. You got to throw it over it now.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of kids that are sitting real close. A lot of family that are complaining. And
That's because those kids have too much money.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Andre, tell him. Wah.
Wah. Everybody's got a button.
There's a 3-2 again to Gomes. Hop back.
Sorry. Come to buy cheaper seats and move down the line.
That moment brought to you by Sammy Sensitive. Another 3-2, and Gomes with a deep fly ball to left. Gentry back on the track, pulls it down. Alonso was 3/4 of the way to third base. They'll have to retreat back to second, 2 down.
Well, a nice at bat by Yanni. He put a good swing on the ball. Can't do it much better than that. Hit a line drive, but gets it to the track, and that's too bad. It's a good at bat, though. You take that and you can build on that, as Alonso has to go back to second base.
And now a chance for Tyler Naquin to deliver with 2 outs and extend the lead. Cashner was cruising along, but he ran into some trouble here in the 4th, and the Indians finally get on the board. Tyler fooled on that pitch, 0-2. Edwin Encarnacion, the beneficiary of a bloop double, comes around to score on a ringing double by Yonder Alonso. Give the Indians the lead after Ramirez tied it with the home run. Middle of the 4th, Jose Ramirez, his 6th home run of the year. It's the Indians on the board, and now they have the lead. Al, happy Earth Day. There's Pedro Alvarez popping one up. Michael Brantley makes the catch for out number 1.
That's the second time that Ramirez has peeled off.
Let's go down to Andre.
Happy Earth Day back to you as well. You know, for Manny Machado, he's got 4 home runs in his last 4 games. He's hit a hot streak. On Friday night when he hit one off of Trevor Bauer, it was on a 3-0 fastball. I asked him if he was surprised. He says, the way I'm hitting and where I'm at and how it goes, I get 1 cookie a night, maybe 2. If I miss it, I got no chance to get it again, so I've got to be ready no matter who's on the mound. I'm not going to get a lot of fastballs, so when I see him, my eyes get big and I'm stroking.
Well, yeah, that's how it goes, man. When you're a power hitter and you know they may pitch around you, as he says, you get that 1 cookie, you don't want to miss it. And I mean, if you don't hit it out, you at least want to get a double or hit a line drive. But he got a 2-0 fastball middle in, and he did exactly what he wanted to with it. 385 feet. It's a nice swing.
He clobbers this one deep left center field. Goodbye. Just like that, Machado has tied the game at 2.
Well, he got the fastball on the first at-bat, and it looks like he gets the slider in this at-bat. So that's number 8 for Machado. There it is, and that just stayed middle of the plate right there. 84 miles per hour, and that was a ringing line drive right into their bullpen. So this game is back to even.
The 0-1. Let's say, hypothetically, that the money is the same, and you as a sitting general manager could sign either Bryce Harper or Manny Machado in the offseason. Which one would you rather have?
Doesn't matter. They're both pretty darn good. I mean, I don't think you couldn't lose no matter who you picked. I think Machado's just a little bit older than Harper, isn't he?
You know, I'm not exactly sure what Harper's age is. Machado will be 26.
Yeah, so it might be a year or 2 different.
Bryce Harper. Let's see. They're the same age.
Okay. Boy, oh boy.
Just threw the bat at it. This is going to work out well. On his way to second base, Adam Jones has a double.
Well, there's another Oriole that got a hit besides Manny Machado, and that's a really nice job of hitting by Adam Jones, just taking it the other. That's about all you could do with that pitch down and away. Slices away from Naquin, so Jones gets on to second, his 6th double of the year.
Kluber will try to bear down now with Chris Davis at the plate. 0 for 1. His first at bat cost him a piece of lumber. Broke his bat and grounded out to first base. Really nice Sunday afternoon crowd here in Baltimore. 61 at game time, but the mercury expected to rise throughout the afternoon, and that chill that was in the air the last couple of days is just kind of gone.
Yeah, it feels very nice today.
Good pitch. Davis leaning back. And it's 1-2. Lindor trying to keep Jones close at second base. Out of play. Baltimore began the day in the cellar in the American League East at 6-15. Already 11.5 games out. And that's because Boston has just been unbelievable. 17-3.
Off to a tremendous start. And you know, when something like that happens, you just gotta, you gotta find a way to fight your way back. And Baltimore's going to have that opportunity. They're on a 10-game homestand. This is the third of 10. But you know, you can't do it all at once. You've got to, you know, the key for them is trying to win series now. You know, to get yourself back to that 500 level and hopes that Boston cannot maintain that pace that they're at.
Kluber's 2-2. Weakly bounce, but in the perfect spot. And that's going to get Jones home with the go-ahead run. Boy, oh boy, he didn't hit it hard, but he hit it in the right spot.
That's what you call a seeing eye base hit. They had this shift over on the right side. The pitch is going to be away, and I mean, you can't hit it at a better place. You see, it took the sting out of the bat. But Lindor's on that side. He's diving for it, and it gets past him to his left, and then Kipnis going to his right on the backhanded side. So it gets into the outfield, it drives in the run, and now Baltimore retakes the lead. So they answered that 2-run top half of the fourth with 2 of their own here.
3 straight hits in the inning now for Baltimore as Tim Beckham steps to the plate.
The most runs that Kluber has allowed in any start so far this year, this being start number 5.
Well, Buck Showalter has to be thrilled because as much as he is a competitor, he realizes that you go up against Corey Kluber, you're not going to expect to score many runs.
Right. Well, like he says, he wants to see his guys see some benefits, some positives out of the work that they're putting into what they're doing. They weren't able to do that on an 0-6 road trip. They did win game number 1 of this series, where they were able to put 3 on the board, and it held up because they weren't pitching that well. So right now he's thrilled at this point, but a long way to go.
Two balls and 2 strikes for Beckham. To third, Ramirez goes to Kipnis. There's one on to first. It's an inning-ending double play. But Baltimore bounces back here in the fourth with a couple to retake the lead. Manny Machado with a couple of home runs on the afternoon. It's 3-2 Baltimore. Ball is brought to you by the 2018 Kia Sorento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. 3-2 Baltimore. We move on now to the 5th inning. And Rajai Davis will lead off for Cleveland. Takes down low, ball 1. Raj with a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning. Three balls, no strikes.
Not what Cashner wants. This guy's been throwing strikes all day long, and now he's falling behind the leadoff hitter Davis, who can run if he gets on.
How about that? He missed with 4 straight.
Wow, first walk of the year or of the game, and that's not the guy you wanted to walk.
The injury report today brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk in Baltimore. Missing Jonathan Scope to an oblique injury. Mark Trumbo has a right quad problem, and Zach Britton. Just recently, Britton threw off a mound. It wasn't the full mound. They said it was a half a mound.
Right.
Through 25 or so pitches. Everything went well. They're hoping to have him back by June. Trumbo and Scope should be back soon.
2 big bats and their closer. And so that's three big names out of that lineup.
And Buck Showalter very candidly admitted to us yesterday, he said, it's been difficult without those guys. We haven't done a good job replacing them to this point. But I don't know many teams that can.
No, you can't, unless they're not in the market like the Yankees or the Red Sox that can go out and if someone gets hurt, you can go out and buy somebody. It's just not that way in most places. You know, if you don't have people that can come up and just, you know, sort of just fill in. But I mean, depending on how long you're going to have to fill in for, you can't replace stars like that.
Well, let's see if the Indians can take advantage of this leadoff walk here. Down a run here in the 5th inning. It gets away, and Rajai will get into scoring position on the wild pitch.
The wild pitch helped the Indians yesterday. When Tillman was on the mound, he had a couple of wild pitches. This is going to be a changeup here to Lindor, and it spikes it. And you see Caleb Joseph tried to put a body on it. It sort of deflected off the side and got to the backstop. So Davis now moves to second base. Now it's get him over, get him in.
Lindor just 1 for 10 in the series. One and 2 the count.
Now trying to get on the same page. I think Cashner wants to throw one pitch and Joseph calling another. You got him to swing at that high fastball. Does he want to try and change his eye level and get him to chase the curve or the breaking ball down? Yeah, breaking ball down out of the zone he wanted him to swing at. You know, pitchers, they go out there, they know what they want to do with certain hitters, especially a good hitter like Lindor. You get ahead of him, and he's been ahead of a number of guys today, 1-2, and he doesn't throw that next pitch for strikes, but the Indians have been able to get back into counts.
There's a base hit into center field. Rajay coming around third base. He will score, and we've got a tie ball game. Lindor with his 8th run batted in on the year, and that has to feel like the weight of the world off of his shoulders.
Well, their second hit with a runner in scoring position. He stayed on the baseball here. Watch, he doesn't. There's no pull off. He's just going to use the big part of the field. He didn't try and do too much. He just put a nice swing on it. The ball was down, and just take your base hit. So that'll tie the game quickly. So back come the Indians.
Let's see how aggressive Lindor is in this situation. He was thrown out trying to steal yesterday, but that was with Chance Cisco behind the plate.
Yeah, and it looks like Cashner pretty quick to home plate.
Kipnis, right field. Santander makes the catch, 1 down.
Well, it's not too late to get a prorated 2018 Tribe season ticket package for the best seats at the best prices with the best perks. You can save big over single game prices. Visit Indians.com for more details.
Jose Ramirez homered to right field in the 4th inning. Just over the 21-foot wall. Down the line. It's only 318 right down the line, which is why they have the elevated wall. The rest of the fence is 7 feet high around the ballpark. But this one, just enough height, just enough distance. Got the Indians on the board. Ramirez, 10 runs batted in, only 1 behind team leader Yonder Alonso. Two-0 count. And now it's 3-0. That didn't miss by much, and Cashner not happy that he didn't get that call to strike. Last 10 games, Jose is heating up, folks. Wow, he walked another one. That's the second walk of the inning. And now the Indians have 2 on with 1 out, and the meat of the order coming up as Michael Brantley steps to the plate, and Roger McDowell is going to pay a visit to the mound and talk with Andrew Cashner. This is something too, Rick, that Buck told us yesterday. He feels like that the rules that Major League Baseball has implemented on mound visits, he said you're seeing less and less of the catcher just going to the mound,
which is a
in
good
the middle
thing.
of an inning.
Yeah.
But he said, I also think, teams are being a little more judicious with when to send a pitching coach out and when to really go out there and talk to him.
Well, some catchers were getting carried away where they go out there and 2 times in an inning because you're not getting on the right page. You're over all your scouting reports and everything, and I think it's a good thing.
Well, now it's Michael Brantley's opportunity. He's 0 for 2 today. Bullpen getting some action for Baltimore. And Brantley scorches one into left field for a base hit. Lindor coming around third. He's going to try to score. Gentry's throw is not in time. Throw back to second base, nowhere close. And it's 4-3 Cleveland. As Michael Brantley has his 8th run batted in on the year.
Very nice stroke by Brantley going the other way. He didn't see, just stayed on that fastball. It was a 2-seamer. He was just trying to get ahead of him, and Brantley stayed on it, lines it into left center field. Lindor scores easily. So it's a 2 runs back at you for the Indians, and now they retake the lead 4-3.
And the approach here in this inning, thanks to a couple of walks. Lindor up the middle, Brantley shoots it the other way.
Is always part of their offenses, and when they get walks.
Edwin Encarnacion fouls one back out of play. Let's go down to Andre.
You mentioned the approach, and that is the approach that Ty Van Berkelio and Tito have sold the guys. Stop looking at the scoreboard and just take where the pitch is at. He thought yesterday Yonder Alonso got into a good place with his first hit going the other way. He thought that Lindor took a couple good swings going the other way. That is what they're trying to get these guys to do. Stop worrying about pulling it. Just go where it's at.
Absolutely. Take what is given. Keep the line moving, as they say.
Edwin pulls it foul.
Edwin got a double on his last at bat where it was flared into right field, and then this at bat he's up here. He's trying to hit. He's trying to get all three home. But that's his approach.
Well, now he's in the hole 0-2. Cashner spins and fires it, but Ramirez back in time. Man, he struck him out. 2 down, half dozen Ks for Cashner.
Come back with a little wrinkle in this pitch. Looked like a little slider by Cashner. Gets Encarnacion to swing over the top of it for the second out of the inning.
See if Yonder Alonso can pick him up. Down and in. (4-3) Cleveland. Suddenly a back and forth affair here in the middle innings. In the dirt.
Well, Yonder got this. That was the first hit that drove in a run. It made it the second 2 for 32 to get a run home, as he had that ringing double in his last at bat. Four of his 11 RBIs have given the Indians the lead.
Ground ball to first. Davis with the flip. Indians are out here in inning number 5, but they put 2 on the board and regain the lead 4-3 halfway through in Baltimore. Back here in Baltimore, where the Indians have taken a 4-3 lead. Before we go to the bottom of the fifth, we take a look at our Kia Drive to Success in the Major League earned run average leaders.
Well, you know, Houston has a good pitching staff, 228. Right behind them, the Cleveland Indians, 264.
An unusual game today for Corey Kluber, in that he has given up 3 runs. He went 13 consecutive starts dating back to last year, in which he did not allow more than 2 runs in any one start.
How about that? That is weird.
Fly ball, center field. Davis has a long run in, but he makes the catch. Our great clip of the game from yesterday, Mike Clevenger. Took him a while, he said, to get a feel for the breaking ball and the slider. But man, once he clicked in, it was good night.
Yeah, that was a slider. He had a really nice curveball and a changeup working too, and spotted his fastball. And you know, he's going to be very fun to watch grow up this year.
2 hits, 2 walks, has struck out 3.
Hasn't given up a run on the road this year. 2-0.
First career.
Yeah, congratulations to him for that.
Oh, what a backhander by Ramirez, and a great throw to get him.
Ramirez is having a really nice series here. He made a play yesterday on a bunt. This one will look like it took a hop, and watch how quick his hands are. He gets it down and then picks it right back up, gets to his feet, and fires a seed over to first. Good series for Jose.
That was something else that Clevenger told Andre after the game yesterday. I thought it was pretty funny. He said, you know, sometimes you're out there and you see a ball get hit by you, and just out of the corner of your eye, he said, I see Jose come flying into the picture and make the play. Pretty comforting to know he's over there for these pitchers.
Well, there's no doubt this defense, normally an excellent defense. Indians were the best in the league last year.
Swung on and missed. He tied him up, and he count 1-2. Line to center. Doesn't hang up. Yes, it will. As Rajay.
He was like a catcher. He picked up off the ground.
Nicely played. 1-2-3 go the Birds. After 5, it's 4-3 Cleveland.
access to Tribe Rewards. And today's Tribe Rewards code is Kipnis. Visit Indians.com for complete details.
Well, as we go to the 6th inning, Andrew Cashner back out here. Miguel Castro had been throwing last inning when it looked like Cashner might be in serious trouble, but he struck out Encarnacion, got Alonso to ground out to end the inning, left a couple of guys on base. And so he's back out here to start the inning, but Castro is up again in the Baltimore bullpen.
Yeah, and so far this year, Cashner's averaging 6 innings per start. He went 5 innings in his first start, he went 7 innings in his third, and then 6 in his 2 other starts. So he's about right on course now. Getting around that 100 pitch mark.
Get out. Yan Gomes with the second hit of the afternoon, and both of them have been singles to straightaway center field.
I like that approach. Gomes staying on the baseball. This one, he made Cashner duck out of the way.
Low bridge.
Yes, indeed. Elevator to the bottom. That's hit number 7 for the Tribe. Got 3 hits with runners in scoring position today.
Tyler Naquin 0 for 2, struck out his last time up as Castro stays loose.
All changeups on Naquin last time, all 3 changeups. And it was only a 3-pitch at bat.
That's one of those deals where he can't possibly throw that changeup again, right? Well, he's not going to throw it 3. Oh, yeah, he did.
Well, until you prove you might be able to put a good swing or hit it, yes, they'll throw it 3 or 4 times in a row. There it was again. They'll throw it all day long if you don't make an adjustment. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for a strike, because last time he went out of the strike zone a couple times.
That's where I'd love to get your thoughts on as a hitter. If he made you look that bad, you know he's going to throw it again. Can you go up and just say, I'm sitting back on the changeup?
Absolutely. I'll just sit and look. And he threw it again, didn't he?
Yes. And Naquin beats it out. Close play, but it was kind of a slow roller. Tough to turn. Baltimore is going to wait and take a look to see if they want to challenge. But I think Tyler did beat it out.
Another changeup, and here's Davis, the backhand side. He wasn't going to get back to first. That's tough to tell.
No challenge.
No challenge. Okay.
Rajai Davis. Leadoff walk and scored in the 5th. Fouled off that front leg. One on, one out. 6th inning. Indians up a run. Big hole on the right side. Rajai trying to shoot it that way, fouls it off. Cashner might be the last hitter for him. Lineup will turn over for the 4th time today. with Lindor on deck. And he pops him up. Jones, the center fielder, will make the catch. 2 down. Mid-game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Yonder Alonso with an RBI double in the 4th. Manny Machado right back to tie it for Baltimore. He's hit a couple of solo shots. And then Frankie Lindor and Michael Brantley with RBI hits in the 5th. To put the Indians ahead 4-3. In a back and forth affair last few innings here. They'll leave Cashner in to face Lindor. Off the end of the bat, bloop toward left. Gentry coming in, he can't get there. And Naquin stops at second base. So a couple of hits here in the 6th for the Indians. And 2 on with 2 out for Jason Kipnis.
Off the end of the bat, but he stayed on the baseball, so he's rewarded. That ball was off the plate. It was a ball. And he's going to have some luck as it falls in, so he gets back-to-back hits. It keeps the inning going. And that was number 500 for Francisco in his career.
Jason Kipnis.
Congratulations.
0 for 3 on the afternoon with 2 aboard and 2 down in the inning. Takes a pitch up high, ball 1. Sticking with Cashner here. Even though Castro has been up, he is ready in the bullpen. 5th youngest player for the Indians to get to that 500 hit mark. And the 1-2. Pop back out of play. Pop foul, left side, that'll find the seats. Stays 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Joseph will go out to the mound, and this will be second mound visit of the day for Baltimore. You get 6 of these a game under baseball's new rules, and at least to my knowledge, I don't think anybody's even come close to getting into an issue with that. But it has kept teams at least aware of it, so that we're not getting the routine visits from the catcher.
Has anybody been to the mound 6 times yet this year in baseball? I don't think so.
I just said
heard it.
Not to my knowledge. Yeah. There's the 1-2, and he struck him out. So the Indians get a couple of hits, but they leave a couple stranded. And we'll head to the bottom of inning number 6 with a Tribe on top 4-3. Look at that.
We got Buddy and
Buddy,
on that
you.
list. Holy smokes.
Your teammates, Joe Vosmick and Hal Trosky.
Yeah. I roomed with Joe one year when I first got called up.
Bunt. Kluber bare hand. Throw to first. Got him.
Nice.
Wow, what a play by the Indians ace.
Well, he was the only one that was going to get it because I don't think Ramirez would have been able to get it in time for Gentry because he gets down the line pretty well. But watch how quickly Kluber gets off the mound with the bare hand. Never panicked. Stayed with it nicely. Didn't rush his throw and made a very accurate one for the first out. Good play.
And brings up Pedro Alvarez. He's popped him up twice today. And 0 for 10 in the series. He checked. A little low. Now the 1-1. A little high. 2 balls and a strike. Indians bullpen is quiet. Kluber just 66 pitches on the afternoon. And really the only trouble he's had was that 3-batter stretch in the 4th inning where they went homer double single. Down the line, slicing foul. Sunday afternoon crowd enjoying some sunshine. It's only the 9th home game for Baltimore. The Indians, for that matter, have only played 8 games at home.
We'll make up for it on the next homestand, though.
That's true. Fouled back. And Baltimore's just beginning, what is this, a
10-day homestand for them is yes. They'll have 11 games. 10 days.
With the doubleheader.
Yeah.
On the makeup of
yes,
back
indeed.
end.
Yeah, we'll make that up quickly. Supposedly a lot of home games in April this year. And so far, we've only had 2 that were washed.
Right back up the gut. Kluber kicked it. Ramirez picks it and throws him out.
In honor of the hockey playoffs, it was a kick save right there by Kluber. And he looks like he's fine.
I'm giving him an assist.
I absolutely am. Let's see who's got the hot goalie, and right now it's Kluber. Look at it. I don't know if it went off his leg or his foot, but it deflects right over to Ramirez, and he's been Johnny on the spot in this series. So you going 1-5-3?
Yeah.
All righty.
And with 2 down, Manny Machado, who has done the damage for Baltimore. 2 solo homers off Kluber this afternoon. Swung out and missed. He was trying to make it 3 for 3.
Well, he got to pitch up a little bit, and he was going up trying to tie the game up, no question about it. He has 3 homers in the series, and he has 5 homers in his last 4 games.
Now, both of those pitches were not where he wanted them, at least not where Gomes was setting up the target. But he ended up putting them in spots where Machado couldn't get to him.
Couple of guys, Chapman, Odor, Upton.
0-2 pitch. And a line drive base hit in the left field. Machado thought about going for two, but Brantley got a perfect throw off. He would have been a dead duck. So he keeps the inning alive, and he is 3 for 3 on the afternoon.
Well, Manny Machado, a fastball and a 2-0 count in his first at bat. Got it out of there, and there was a breaking ball lined out into the bullpen, and then an 0-2, another curveball, I believe. Base hit. So he's had a very good afternoon so far off Corey Kluber, but there are 2 outs.
Adam Jones looks at a fastball for a strike, a little cutter.
Remember Jones, his last at bat, hit a double to right, stayed on a baseball with 2 strikes, down and away, and really did a good job of staying on it.
Right at Lindor, and the inning is over. 6 in the books, 4-3 Cleveland. Baseball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. As we roll on to the 7th inning here in Baltimore, it's time for the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. And Buck Showalter calls on Miguel Castro, making his 9th appearance of the year. This guy walked by me the other day over in the Baltimore clubhouse, and I thought, that does not look like a baseball player. He is 6'7".
I know he is. I saw that yesterday, and I said, holy smokes. He looked like he was getting ready for the NBA Finals.
That fastball, 99 miles an hour. Came to the Orioles from the Rockies last year. Right at the start of the year. Up and away. 2 balls and a strike. As you can see, the key for Castro will be repeating that delivery at 6'7" and throwing strikes. Yeah.
Well, it's hard for a tall guy sometimes to get that body in motion, and a lot of arms and a lot of legs, and consistently get in that strike zone. But if he does, you can see he's got a very good arm.
Swung on, foul tipped into the glove with Joseph. One away. Last year in 66 innings, he walked 28, struck out 38, gave up 53 hits. With that kind of arm, you wouldn't think you could get 53 hits off a guy like this.
Right. But you're certainly going to take a chance and try to refine that delivery. How do you get a very hot hitter to strike out in Jose Ramirez in his first at bat?
Yeah, Ramirez with a couple of strikeouts today. That's a rare occurrence for him.
Yeah, one of the toughest guys to strike out. What's he won every 19 at bats does he strike out?
Brantley not necessarily in agreement with the call, but looks at a strike to even the count. Yeah, I don't have the overall season numbers, but he had gone 20 straight plate appearances
Without
before he struck out to start today.
That's about his average, once every 19, at least coming into today.
Pulled foul.
Well, the Cubs are going to come into Progressive Field on Tuesday night, first time since the World Series. They'll grab a $15 district ticket or a $10 KeyBank Kids ticket. Just go to Indians.com for those tickets. Tuesday at what's it, 6 o'clock, and Wednesday at 7.
Brantley is on 40 plate appearances between strikeouts.
I think it was up until yesterday. Brantley had gone quite some time without a swing and a miss.
Yeah,
it was about 20 or 30 plate appearances without a swing and a miss.
He hammers this one to right field. Santander plays it off the wall, but throw is just doesn't have any steam on his throws. And Brantley taking full advantage with a double.
Well, anytime in Michael's last at bat, he took a fastball with a runner on base and shot it the other way. When you throw him a breaking ball, you're doing him a favor because you're speeding up his bat, especially if you don't get it in, you know, to where he might pull that foul. You're just speeding up his bat. He's going to end up pulling the ball like he does right there. And the defense is shifted the other way, Matt, to play him sort of like to left field. And so you speed it up and it turns into a double.
But now can they get him home? Edwin Encarnacion 1 for 3. And he pops it up. The second baseman Sardinas with a nice play. 2 down. That's going to bring up Yonder Alonso. He's 1 for 3. Drove in a run with a double back in the 4th inning. He pops it up. Becker makes the catch. Stretch time in Baltimore. 4-3 Cleveland. Indians maintain a 1-run lead. Here in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Davis, Beckham, and Santander due for the Birds. Let's go back downstairs and check in with Andre Knott.
Thanks, Matt. For Yonder Alonso as well as Manny Machado, anytime they're able to play together, it's fun. His brother-in-laws. Yesterday, Yonder had this home run that went out to Utah Street, also had a single and a big double today. All of this is big for Yonder, but his brother-in-law, Manny Machado, has worked out with him and helped him get to where he's at. And here in today's Hear Right Sounds of the Game, he talks about the type of hitter he sees Yonder becoming.
He came into two off seasons ago. He came and told me, man, I'm going to change my swing. I'm going to go with the leg kick, and I'm going to try to, go for a couple more homers. And we worked the whole off season. He was dedicated to it, hitting twice a day, sometimes even 3 times a day, 7 days a week, and he was dedicated to it. And see the success turn out on the field was, it was amazing to watch, and truly blessed that the opportunity rose for him to, put himself on the map again.
It's kind of cool when you look at these two guys, because here's Yonder Alonso, who's worked so hard to put himself into this position, and Manny Machado, he's just one of those guys who it just comes so natural to.
Yeah, but it's nice that you want to change, and you got guys like that that are willing to help you out. I mean, you can learn and incorporate something, and you. Like you say, once you see success, and he had the big year last year with the 28 home runs, you just build on that. And once you get a little taste of it, boy, you want to get better and better. And it's hopefully a sign of very good things to come.
Well, Rick, how much does it help having someone like Manny Machado have that much faith in you when you're already a big leaguer? You know what I mean?
Be awesome. I mean, you're talking about one of the best in the game right now. And you get a chance to work with him, and maybe he can help you out, maybe he can't. But
well, he told me 40 home runs is in Yonder's future. He says, I'm saying that because this is my brother-in-law. He goes, I just see the work that he's put in. I told Yonder that before the game yesterday, and he looked at me and smiled, and he says, he never told me that.
And probably never will.
No, he will not.
Well, Yonder said, hey, I want to kick his butt.
I'll tell you what, when you're talking about it, now that's very high praise. 40 home runs is a boatload, man. I mean, 30 is a heck of a mark.
Well, I think the reason Manny feels that way, he thinks with the strength that Yonder has in his core, that he can do it in the right ballpark.
Well, Cleveland ballpark's not an easy ballpark to hit homers in, and he found that out in the month of April in the first homestand.
Well, and I laughed and I said, well, Manny, he's not playing at your ballpark.
Yeah.
And he laughed.
What Manny said.
Right. He chuckled. He goes, I get it. He goes, but everybody says it's a bandbox. He goes, our place isn't playing big right now either.
Well,
small rather.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it's playing a lot smaller than Progressive Field is.
Hey, by the time it's all said and done, when we're back here sitting around talking about this in September, the cream always rises to the top. The guys who are supposed to hit the home runs, they'll be up there in the 30s. Swung out and missed. Down goes Davis. That's only the 2nd strikeout for Corey Kluber here today. And I say that because it seems like every game he's around 8, 9, 10 strikeouts.
Yes, you're right. He is, and they've been able to put it in play. But there you go, Indians history. All-time strikeouts. Kluber climbing the ladder. It won't be long until he passes CC. Just past Charlie Nagy, our good friend. Now the pitching coach with the Angels. And then other than that, after CC, it's a bunch of old-timers.
Where is Chuck this afternoon?
I think they're out west playing.
Angels are at home against the Giants.
Yeah, it's a west. That's right.
Well, maybe Chuck's up early watching today.
I don't think so. He's out running. He is. It's only what, 12:15 out there. Well, it's maybe a day game for him.
Swung out and missed. Corey Kluber, back-to-back strikeouts. April in the OHIO continues tomorrow right here, Camden Yards in Baltimore. Indians O's wrap up the 4-game series. Coverage begins with Indians Live at 6:30. First pitch at 7 on Sports Time Ohio and streaming on Fox Sports Go. April in the OHIO, presented by Menards. Anthony Santander 0 for 2. He was flied out twice.
Looks like Kluber starting to get a really good feel of everything.
Foul out of play. Minnesota leads Tampa Bay 3-2. They're in the 6th down in St. Pete. Kansas City leading Detroit 5-3. They're in the 6th inning in the Motor City. The White Sox on top of the Astros. They're at home in Chicago 1-0. Pale hose in the 4th inning.
That'll change. Houston been scoring a lot of runs.
The White Sox have lost 6 in a row. When they were in Cleveland, looked like they were headed for a disastrous opening month, but they bounced back. They're within a game of 500 at 9-10. The same cannot be said for the White Sox and the Royals. Chicago started the day 4-13. Kansas City 4-15. Only the Reds, I think, have a worse record at 3-17 to start the year. Oof. Ryan Price already the first managerial casualty. Another foul ball by Santana.
I'll tell you what, he's fouled. The last 2 pitches were tough ones to foul off, but he's been able to do that to stay alive. And when you look at the pitch count for Corey Kluber and by inning, he's, you know, again, he's done a beautiful job. Look at 19 was the highest in his 4th inning. He always mixes in an 8 or a 9 pitch inning throughout the course of the game, and right now he's sitting at 90, so he should be good for another inning.
That's if this at bat ever ends.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Bounce one in the dirt. Take him off of it. He's still got a 2-2 count. He's got an 8-pitch at bat going right now. And I mean, he's fouled off just about everything in sight. Let's see how bad he has him in swing mode.
Shaking him off with a couple. You know.
All right, that's down. Maybe elevate the fastball. When you can have Kluber and go to a 9-pitch at bat or a 10-pitch at bat, you're doing a heck of a job in that batter's box to stay alive, no matter how the outcome turns out.
It's like a changeup. Inside, full count.
Yeah, he spit on it.
And he fouls off another one. game, these are the kind of at-bats you worry about.
Yeah, they wear out the pitcher. You're right, especially at this point in the ball game.
Wow. What a job by Corey Kluber. A great at-bat by Santander, but Kluber prevails to strike out the side here in the 7th. And the Indians stay in front by a run. A lot of numbers, and let's see if they can make them hold up here in the late innings as Miguel Castro back out here to go for the Birds. He worked a scoreless 7th inning. He just uncorked one at 98 miles an hour, but it was in the dirt. Nobody loosening in either bullpen at this point. Gomes has 2 hits on the afternoon. Machado from deep in the hole with a perfect throw to get him one down. April in the OHIO continues tonight with playoff basketball. Cavs Pacers game 4. Cavaliers live at 8. Tip off with Fred AC and Alley at 8:30. Fox Sports Ohio streaming on Fox Sports Go. April in the OHIO presented by Menards. Now Tyler Naquin 0 for 3. Reached on an error in the 3rd. Show and bunt took a strike. Baltimore now has a left-hander up. And he shoots one up the gut. How about Tyler Naquin on an 0-2 count? And he has a base hit, his 3rd hit in the series.
Well, 2 of them have gone right back up the middle.
Yeah.
And almost hit the pitchers. I mean, this one was a jolt right back up the middle. Watch it. Almost got Castro in the back end.
And Andre, even at 98 miles an hour, Naquin with a nice solid approach there.
It's what Tito loves about Tyler Naquin. He thinks maybe he's more comfortable knowing that he's going to have more playing time with the injury to Lonnie Chisenhall. But he says the thing he's seen from him this year, and he used to say it a couple of years ago, no matter how bad Naquin looks on a swing, he fights every single at bat, and he appreciates but he'll fight a guy no matter what he's got or how hard he's throwing. Naquin always gives him the survival tactics that he wants from a hitter.
Well, I think for right now, as Tito alluded to, the fact that he knows he's going to be in the lineup, knows he's going to get some regular at bats. It's given him a sort of a jolt of energy, of adrenaline. This might be playable. Let's see. Davis, no, can't get there.
Well, as we said before, Naquin has something to prove, and he wants to prove he can stay here and be here. So he's getting the opportunity now, where before, you know, he wasn't going to play for any extended period of time. And now against right-handers, his name's going to be in the lineup, and he's in right field every day, so that certainly helps.
Rajay in the hole, 0-2.
Threw that ball to first at about 92.
Says in Miguel Castro's bio that his father was a heavyweight boxer and a butcher.
Goes hand in hand.
The 0-2. And this is popped up, playable. Davis and Caleb Joseph, and it's Davis who makes the catch 2 down. They have the left-hander up in the bullpen. Maybe they want Blyer to face Kipnis and or Brantley, because Buck Showalter said, he goes, you know, you look at Lindor and Ramirez, and he said their splits are pretty even. It's not like you really gain a lot flipping them to one side or the other.
Right.
I think both guys, from a power standpoint, are better from the left side of the plate.
And they get more at bats. They have more opportunities.
True, yeah.
So, you know, that's always the case. But they are both good hitters from both sides of the plate. Well, you're going to see Frankie stay on a couple of pitches. This one with a runner on base. He's been pulling off a little bit, but these last 2 at bats, you know, that one there, a little off the end of the bat, but boy, you certainly take him, because he's hit balls very hard that have been caught the other way and all over the field as far as that goes. But they're going to continue. Once you prove to teams and pitchers that you're going to stay on the baseball and you're going to take that base hit that they're giving you out over the plate, if you stay on it or at least hit it well, then you'll start getting pitches inside when you can turn on it. But you have to prove that you're going to, you can put it in play and you're going to take it that way. If you continue to roll over on it and pull it, they're going to stay out there all day long. Doubled up on the changeup there on Lindor. And had him out in front. That's the one thing there. It's not like he was trying to pull a ball. It's just that he was fooled on this pitch. And it's, when you're throwing 98, you've got to get it started. But that was an excellent location, and it was a good changeup down.
Yeah, and, you know, when you can separate pitches by 10 miles an hour at least,
10 or more,
you got pretty good chance to be successful with that.
Well, yeah, that was a great located changeup.
Tried to throw it again, but it missed away. 2-2.
But you'll see what this kid can offer. If he could throw that for a strike, you could get their strikeouts, or you could get your ground ball outs with the kind. It's a matter of just getting a feel and the command of the baseball, because when you're throwing as hard as he is, hitters got to get the dial turned up. It's just that he gets ahead. He has a tough time putting them away because the command on his off speed or his secondary pitches are not there yet. But very promising. Now, if you're a hitter, you got to think 3-2. I'm going to sit on the fastball. He just missed with a changeup and a breaking ball. So let's see if he gets the fastball in this pitch.
Runner goes. He got the fastball and booms it fouled on the right side.
See, that's where guys like this get into trouble. He had to throw a strike, or he wanted to throw a strike, and knowing this is going to be his last hitter, and Frankie was waiting for the fastball, and he still pulled it foul at 96. And I think if you're a catcher like Joseph, you would like to call another changeup here, but do you think he can throw it for a strike?
Lindor sends one high in the air, deep center field. Back is Jones, plenty of room, makes the catch. No runs ahead, a man left, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Indians still up 4-3. By your Ford dealers. The Indians were in a 1-for-29 funk to start the day. They have had 3 hits with runners in scoring position today. The Machado-Kluber matchup has gone the way of Manny. 3 for 3 with 2 solo homers. And even down on the count with 2 strikes, he was still able to manage a base hit his last time up. Machado. If Kluber can retire the side in order, he would still bat in the 9th inning, regardless. He's 5 spots away. Andrew Miller is up in the Indians bullpen, getting loose. That's going to be a bloop job that falls in. Caleb Joseph, who has had a rough start to the year offensively, bloops one in to give the Orioles some life here in the 8th inning.
Well, he kept going, he kept swinging. That's his first hit off a right-hander. Didn't you say he didn't have one? And he just fights it off. It's a fastball inside, and now Tito's going to go to the mound and bring in Andrew Miller. So Kluber's afternoon will be over after going 7+.
Caleb Joseph had been 0 for 20 to start the year against right-handed pitching. Before that, blooper fell in right. And so the day is over for Corey Kluber. It's Miller time in Baltimore when we come back. Yielding 6 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts, a couple of home runs to Machado, 98 pitches in all. And he's responsible for the man at first base is Andrew Miller. Takes over for the Indians. Miller's made 8 appearances, 5 hits, 4 walks, 14 strikeouts. Luis Sardinas 0 for 2. Now bat right-handed for the first time today.
Ramirez in front of the bag. They want to see if they will try and bunt here. And they did square around, but this cannot be an easy guy to bunt off of. And I know, you know, in situations, Buck Showalter, he doesn't like to bunt a whole lot. But when you have a guy up there that's, you know, hitting a $140, it's almost, you want to move him over for the next guy if you can.
Sardinas is 0 for 2 as a right-handed hitter, so almost all of his ABs have been from the other side of the plate. 1-1 to count.
And the toughest thing against Miller is trying to get a strike to bunt. As you can see, he'll move your back feet and he'll throw you different pitches. That slider will come in from 3 feet off the plate.
Takes a strike, and that one was wicked.
That's the one I'm talking about. That slider, you see it. He threw one inside, and he had to move his feet. And then you get this one that he can throw for a strike. And it still starts out there over in the left-handed batter's box, and it ends up right there. And he's going, my God, that's a strike. Now you're fighting for your life.
Heats him up with a fastball. See you later. 1 down.
Yeah, not an easy thing to do.
That's got to be demoralizing for a batter.
Sure it is. I mean, let's watch the sequence here. He comes in, he's going to move his feet. He missed, and you know, he ends up getting him with the fastball away. Just a very tough way to go.
Craig Gentry 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Down and in. 2-0. fastball strike.
Looked like Gentry taking all the way there.
Yeah, and you know,
making him get in the strike zone.
I was thinking that there have been a few instances where you've seen Miller, go 2-0, even 3-0, and then find it, and bing, bang, boom,
yeah,
and you're out.
But as a hitter, when he misses the first two, you want to see what he's going to throw you in that situation. And why not, take a strike? There's nothing wrong with that.
Missed inside, 3-1.
You get into situations like this, the hitter always wants to hit. But, if you can get a walk off a guy like Miller, and, he's sometimes, we've seen him this year where he's had a tough time finding the strike zone. You certainly don't want to help the good pitchers out, because if you help them out with maybe one strike, then they can go on and find it and cruise. See?
He went too far, full count.
I don't think that was a strike, but that slider, it was the frisbee that comes in. He ends up, he couldn't check his swing. Watch. And he certainly did go. And now it's a full count, so Andrew Miller back into it.
Swung on and miss. He comes back and strikes him out 2 down. That's what I was talking about. Even when he falls behind, it's never like the hitter seems to have an advantage.
No, you're right. He tied him up that time. Good fastball.
They get a pinch hitter, Danny Valencia, to hit for Pedro Alvarez.
Look at Gomes just sitting in the middle of the plate. He says, here, give it to me, 92, and just really tied him up.
Valencia swings at the first pitch, rolls it to Lindor, and the side is retired. We'll go to the ninth, 4-3, Cleveland. Presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Ninth inning here in Baltimore. And the Orioles' third pitcher of the afternoon is Brach. He's on to face Kipnis, Ramirez, and Brentley.
Yeah, Buck, they have their closer, and he wants to keep this game right where it is at right now at 1 run.
Cody Allen up in the Cleveland bullpen. And Jason Kipnis takes a strike. He's 0 for 4 on the afternoon. Couple of strikeouts. One and one. Fouled back in Colorado this afternoon. Cubs for third baseman Chris Bryant had to leave the game in the first inning after he was hit in the head by a fastball. And Cubs hitting coach Chili Davis was ejected for saying something after the incident. Kipnis loops one to shallow right. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Well, the Indians had their leadoff man aboard here in the ninth, looking for some much needed insurance. That's their 11th hit of the afternoon.
It's an 8-game hitting streak for Jason Kipnis as well. There's Cody Allen in the bullpen.
8 of the 9 starters have at least one hit today for the Indians. Rajai Davis, the only starter without a hit, but he does have a sacrifice bunt.
And
He's reached on a walk and scored a run.
He was not scheduled in the original lineup. Zimmer was pulled because of an ankle issue, a slight sprain maybe.
Yeah, they said it was a mild sprain, and Andre reported no major issues there, and he'll probably be back in the lineup. If not tomorrow, maybe when we get back home to Cleveland. Deep right field. Santander is back. He's out of room. It's out of here. Jose Ramirez once again climbs the 21-foot wall in right field, and it's a huge 2-run homer to extend the Indians' lead to 3 runs here in the 9th inning.
Well, that's a big hit right there.
A 3 RBI afternoon for Ramirez.
Well, you know, it makes this a 3-run game instead of that 1-run game, and with Machado coming up, and well, Ramirez wants another home run in this game, so there it is, just gets over, and boy, oh boy, that is a nice hit, and he is heating up, folks.
How about that? 7 home runs now to lead the club, and 12 runs batted in to also lead the team.
There you'll see it's a fastball, and it stays right there on that plane, and he puts a good swing on it. That was under 100 miles an hour off the bat, but boy, it had enough to carry out of here. First home run Brach is allowed.
You know, these situations happen more than you think they do. When maybe if you only follow one team, you think they maybe happen to your club more than they do others. But these are those situations where sometimes maybe it's a tie game, or in this case it was a 1-run game where you put your best relievers in there to try to hold it, and they don't seem to pitch as well as when the situation is reversed, when they've got the lead.
Right.
But man, these are just as important, because if you're in the Orioles dugout, if he can keep it a 1-run game, one swing of the bat from one of your big guys in the 9th inning changes everything.
Well, that's the intentions, but you know, in this situation, Brach hasn't pitched in the series, so you can't. He's your closer. You got to get him some work. Right. And in a 1-run game, as a manager, you're saying, "Hey, I've got to get him in there." And now, what a better time! I got to put a 0 on the board, and he's been great.
And how many times did we see that with Cody Allen? He's not in a save situation, just not
tie
quite
game.
As good.
Yeah,
and
for whatever reason, it's hard to explain.
Boy, Jose Ramirez, though. So much for the slow start. Encarnacion cuts and misses, and it's 1-2. ground ball. Sardinas throws him out, one away. Pat O'Brien Chevrolet play of the game. Jose Ramirez in the 4th inning. Down the line. Stays fair. And then here in the 9th, oh boy, you can see Brach's reaction. He knew it wasn't good, but it still just barely got out of here.
Well, that's all it counts. It doesn't matter how far.
No, we saw that last year. We were talking about it before the game with Jose Ramirez, the crazy games in Detroit, the game he had in Detroit with the 2 home runs that just barely cleared the wall.
That's all you need. Get him in the 1st row.
The old wall scraper counts just as much as the one blasted on the Utah street.
Sure, because now everybody wants to know the distance on them because guys are hitting them farther and farther, and you've got some big guys in baseball now like Judge that, you know, they annihilate a baseball. Everybody wants it. Not everybody can do that. You hit a home run, that's good. Doesn't matter how far it is. It counts the same.
And Yonder Alonso has his 2nd hit of the afternoon. I was just thinking, Rick, as you said that about, you know, it all counts the same. We were mentioning earlier about Jim Thome. We showed the Hall of Fame moment, the home run he hit at Fenway. We showed you the plaque where he hit a ball here, destroyed one out 400+ feet. I remember when I was just starting out with the Indians, we'd come out for early batting practice. We stand out there in the outfield shagging some fly balls, helping to pick all the stuff up. You watch Jim Thome's fly balls as Yan Gomes drives one to deep right field, and it's off the wall. Santander couldn't get to it. Coming around 3rd, Alonso's going to try to score. Throw to the plate, not in time. And Yan Gomes with a 3-hit afternoon. It's his 2nd double of the year. And he drives home another run. It's a 3-run 9th for the Indians.
Yeah, and Gomes with a very good day.
Staying on the ball. This is a really good piece of hitting.
I'll tell you what, he hit a couple up the middle for his first 2 hits, and then going off the wall here, the short porch and right, with a very nice swing to drive home another run with 2 outs. So Yan Gomes with a good afternoon. And it's a 7-3 game, but go ahead.
Well, you would watch Thome, the trajectory of his fly balls just in batting practice, the ball would leave the bat and it looked like it would hit a 2nd gear and go even higher. It was just something to watch him just destroy baseball after baseball after baseball.
They would have a meal on that flight.
Yeah.
I mean, they are. I mean, that's what you call strength.
We're going to reach a cruising altitude of 30,000 feet. That's what it looked like when you see the ball leave his bat. Naquin shoots one back to Brach. He'll flip it to 1st to retire the side, but not before the Indians put a little cushion in this one. A 2-run blast from Ramirez. Gomes with an RBI double. And the Indians are sitting pretty in Charm City. As we promised earlier, time for our Miller Lite Hold True moment. And Jose Ramirez with the level here this afternoon in addition to the big bat.
Yeah, he's had a good series all the way around. Some very nice plays defensively. Bunt yesterday, the plays going to his left, to his backhand side. He's risen to the occasion. And you mix in a couple of knocks, a couple of big flies today, and it's been a great series for Jose.
Well, you know, you taught me a long time ago that, especially here at the major league level, you're not going to get 3-4 hits every day. So when things aren't going well, what can you do to help your team win? And for a guy like Ramirez, regardless of what is going on at the plate, his defense is never out of whack.
No, and you know, he looks like he's a Gold Glover at third base, and that's not even his best position. But that's it. If you don't get hits one day, you can win a game another way with your leather, maybe running the bases, maybe moving a base runner.
It's weird. This game doesn't have the feel like the Indians' offense broke out. But maybe there was just enough spread out among the offense that this is the kind of game that can get them going collectively.
I certainly agree with that. 14 hits. They have 7 on the board. You know, would they have 3-4 hits with runners in scoring position today? That's something they needed to break out of, and you know, it's something to build on. That's for sure, because this offense, it was a little stale. And you know, that inning certainly helps.
Yeah, that's
a 3-run ninth off their closer.
That's a big deal, because it was a 1-run game, and then all of a sudden Tyler Naquin makes the catch, kisses the wall, and hangs on for out number 1.
You know, he knew it was going to be tough because the sun was there. He was getting close to that wall, but he got it right before he was going to kiss the wall. And let's see, it's in the shade, and he was really preparing for it, so he was able to hold on. So a nice play to retire Machado for the first time this afternoon.
Adam Jones doubled and scored back in the 4th inning. And he tried to hold up, but he went around. Oh, he tried to go upstairs and get that fastball, but no dice. Checked. That time he held up. Swung on and missed. Cody Allen strikes him out, and there are 2 down. Well, Rick, this is going to finish with the longest time a game so far in the series, but you could argue this one's been maybe the most entertaining of the 3. Now, if you're a Baltimore fan, you might not agree with that, but this was still a 1-run game until the Indians just blew it out with a 3 spot.
You're right. This one was a very close game, so that's something that Baltimore can't forget. You know, they would have had a chance, but that was a huge 9th inning for the Indians that they desperately needed to create a little separation and get away from those 1-run games.
And a wicked curveball.
Well, he's got the fastball and the hook working today, so he's usually unhittable when that happens.
Another one, and it's 1-2. Popped him up. Naquin calls for it in right field. Makes the catch, and the game is over. The Indians beat the Birds 7-3. They've won 2 out of 3 with the series finale coming tomorrow night here in Baltimore. But this one, a big win for the Tribe. Corey Kluber is now 3-1 on the year as he gets the victory. The loss will go to Andrew Cashner, who's now 1-3. Indians have now won 8 of their last 11. They moved to 11-8 on the year, and Baltimore sinks to 6-16 on the season. Indians get the win by wrapping out 14 hits on the afternoon, with the final score 7-3. Baltimore held to 3 runs, 6 hits, as Corey Kluber, Andrew Miller, and Cody Allen combine to shut down Baltimore's offense here this afternoon.
Well, ended up being a very good game, and it's nice to see